Today we are talking about P-40, which had two primary official nicknames, Warhawk and Tomahawk. Besides these, we can call it the Flying Tiger. In the last century, global aircraft transitioned from biplanes to monoplanes. Curtiss successfully developed the P-36, an all-metal monoplane fighter for the US military. A huge leap from biplanes, it offered high maneuverability and high flight speed, securing thousands of overseas orders. But upon signing the production contract, before the US got excited, intelligence showed high-performance aircraft like the German Bf-109, and British Spitfire had emerged in Europe. Realizing their new fighter was outclassed, the Americans were not willing to fall behind. So, in that year, the US Army Air Corps again released new requirements for fighter bids, with special emphasis on speed, climb rate, and maneuverability. Curtiss then presented the XP-40 program, which was essentially an engine replacement on the existing P-36. The US had few options at the time, given that the Lockheed P-38 and the Bell P-39 were not scheduled for mass production until 1941. Since the Curtiss P-36 had been tested and proven, Curtiss's idea was adopted once again. The prototype made its first flight in October, and after improvements and evaluations were completed, the US government, using the existing P-36 production line, directly placed an order for 500. It was 31.69 feet long, had a 37.34-foot wingspan, and weighed 5,952 pounds empty. Maximum takeoff weight 8,818 pounds, an Allison liquid-cooled engine, a top speed of 348 miles per hour, and a 684-mile range. Early models had 2.50-inch machine guns in the nose, 2.30-inch guns in each wing. Later, 3.50-inch guns per wing. Under the fuselage, it could carry bombs or an auxiliary fuel tank, or a triple rocket launcher could be mounted on its wings. In 1940, the P-40 received its first overseas order as France excitedly ordered 100 aircraft, but they fell before delivery. At that time, Britain was fighting Germany over Great Britain and desperately needed fighter jets, so Curtiss sold 100 aircraft to the British. But in combat, the British found the P-40's high-altitude performance terrible, becoming sluggish above 19,685 feet. No match for the Bf-109. Since they were already bought, they were relegated to trainer aircraft, some sent to secondary fronts. After the Lend-Lease Act, the P-40 saw widespread foreign aid, with our nation receiving hundreds. During that time of scarcity, it became our primary fighter. That same year, retired US Colonel Claire Chennault formed the Flying Tigers by recruiting American volunteer pilots and ground crew who used dive bombing tactics against Japanese fighter jets. In their initial engagement, they shot down 9 Japanese fighter jets with 0 losses, severely dampening their Air Force morale. After the Soviet-German War broke out in 1941, the P-40 became the Soviet Union's mainstay fighter. Facing huge losses and a severe shortage of fighters early in the war, even if it couldn't match the Bf-109 in performance, they had to use whatever was available. With the emergence of their own new fighters, the P-40 shifted to low-altitude ground attack. During World War II, the Soviets received over 2,000 P-40s. Over 13,700 were built, making it America's third most produced warplane, behind the P-47 Thunderbolt and P-51 Mustang. Although its performance wasn't great and it lagged far behind contemporary mainstay fighters, its durability, strong firepower, and large production volume played a key role in the early stages of the war.